When engaging in a relationship with someone special, a Stoic perspective encourages focusing on virtues over superficial attributes like age. The modern trend of younger individuals dating older partners reflects a shift in societal norms. What was once considered rare is now commonplace. Yet from a Stoic standpoint, any relationship, regardless of age difference, requires careful thought and intentionality. Such partnerships may present unique challenges, and approaching them with wisdom ensures they are navigated with grace. To better understand the dynamics at play, consider these 10 essential principles for maintaining a harmonious relationship when dating someone older. Number 1. Your values might be different. It's natural to find that your values and perspectives differ from someone of another generation. These differences are shaped by the eras we grow up in, the cultural norms, the challenges we face, and the opportunities available. Imagine a young person in their early 20s dating someone in their early 40s. This isn't just a difference in years, it's a contrast in experiences, a divergence in how the world has been perceived and navigated. The younger partner might have grown up with technology as an integral part of life, while the older partner remembers a time before smartphones dictated daily routines. One's worldview is framed by instantaneous connectivity, the other perhaps by an era that valued slower, more deliberate communication. These distinctions don't inherently divide us. Instead, they offer an opportunity for growth, if approached with openness and curiosity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in Meditations to welcome the unexpected as a friend. Relationships spanning generations bring this principle to life. Differences in values or perspectives don't have to be stumbling blocks. They can become stepping stones. Each partner brings to the table a set of lived experiences, and these are often complementary. Where one sees a gap in understanding, the other might offer clarity born of wisdom or a fresh lens of innovation. Of course, challenges can arise, and navigating such a dynamic requires patience and honest communication. It's not that people of different ages are doomed to clash, but their mental frameworks may not always align. For example, someone younger might view ambition and career advancement as paramount, while an older partner might prioritize stability or legacy. These are not opposing values, but they can feel at odds without mutual respect and a willingness to bridge the gap. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." In a relationship like this, there's the potential to refine each other's character. The older partner might offer perspective and grounded wisdom, while the younger partner can bring energy, optimism, and a sense of possibility. Together, they can forge a partnership that challenges and elevates both individuals. Yet not all such relationships thrive. The test lies in whether both individuals are willing to engage in the work of understanding, compromise, and shared growth. Without these, the differences might feel insurmountable. A younger partner could struggle to relate to the concerns of someone further along in life's journey, parenting, aging parents, or career plateaus. Similarly, an older partner might find it hard to connect with the uncertainties and restlessness of youth. In Stoicism, we learn the value of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. Relationships are no exception. You can't control the upbringing or past experiences of your partner, but you can choose how you respond to these differences. Empathy, patience, and a sense of humor can make all the difference in finding harmony. Ultimately, successful relationships, regardless of age, are built on shared values. The surface-level differences matter far less than the core principles that drive each person. Do you both value kindness, integrity, growth? If these fundamentals are aligned, the details of generational perspectives fade into the background. When values diverge, it doesn't necessarily spell the end of a relationship, but it does require careful navigation. The Stoics remind us to prepare for life's challenges, and relationships are no exception. By approaching such dynamics with a calm, reflective mindset, you can embrace the beauty of differences and find strength in the union of two distinct souls. At its heart, a relationship between generations is not about erasing differences, but celebrating them. It's about learning from each other and finding common ground. As the Stoics would urge, focus not on what divides you, but on what brings you together. A shared commitment to growth, understanding, and virtue can create a bond that transcends time. Number 2, clashing musical tastes. In life, differences are inevitable, whether in relationships, friendships, or daily interactions. Clashing musical tastes in a relationship, be it with an older partner or anyone, are one such example. While these differences may initially seem frustrating, the Stoic perspective invites us to view them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Epictetus wisely observed, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them." A difference in musical preferences is not inherently problematic. It is our perception and response to this difference that determines its impact. Music is deeply personal, tied to memories and emotions, but it is also subjective. Neither partner's preferences are better, only reflective of their unique experiences. What lies within your control, as Marcus Aurelius teaches, is your response. Instead of fixating on the divide, choose curiosity and openness. Can you find value in what your partner enjoys? Can you expand your own tastes and grow closer through this shared exploration? These small efforts embody the Stoic virtues of patience and humility, fostering connection and mutual understanding. Over time, preferences can evolve. What feels alien today may become meaningful tomorrow. Embracing this impermanence, as Seneca advises, encourages us to live fully in the present moment and appreciate the opportunity to learn from one another. Ultimately, differences, whether musical or otherwise, test our ability to adapt and grow. They remind us that harmony isn't about uniformity, but about the effort to create something beautiful together despite dissonance. The Stoic path teaches us to approach such moments with grace, seeing them as chances to strengthen our character and deepen our bonds. Number 3, she might have children. Life often presents us with situations that require thoughtful reflection, and relationships are no exception. When forming a bond with someone who has children, the dynamics shift, calling for a mindset rooted in patience, understanding, and acceptance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to love the hand that fate deals you, to approach every situation with equanimity and grace. In this case, the hand may include a partner whose life already encompasses the deep responsibilities of parenthood. Dating someone with children is inherently different from dating someone without them. For the Stoic, this is not a challenge to be resented, but an opportunity to practice the virtues of respect, adaptability, and selflessness. If her children are young, their well-being will naturally take precedence. Recognize this as a reflection of her character and priorities, not as a threat to your connection. Parenting is an act of love and duty, two values Stoics hold dear. If her children are adults, another layer of complexity arises: acceptance. Will they welcome you into their lives? This uncertainty, however daunting, is beyond your control. As Epictetus advises, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Focus on what you can influence: your behavior, your patience, and your willingness to forge meaningful relationships over time. Acceptance is seldom immediate, but it can be earned through authenticity and respect. Ultimately, the Stoic approach invites you to see these dynamics not as obstacles, but as exercises in virtue. Every moment, whether awkward, challenging, or joyful, is an opportunity to embody wisdom, courage, and temperance. A relationship with someone who has children, then, becomes not just a union of two people, but a journey toward growth, both as individuals and as a family. Number 4, she might not be able to have your children. When approaching relationships, particularly with someone older, it's essential to assess the interplay of your desires and her stage in life. A crucial factor to consider is the question of children. If you are a young man with aspirations of fatherhood, her age could impact that dream. Women in their 40s, for instance, are often past their prime childbearing years. While this doesn't mean they cannot conceive, the potential risks associated with pregnancy increase significantly with age. It's not an insurmountable barrier, but it's one that demands careful thought and honest dialogue. This isn't to say you should avoid dating an older woman. Love transcends numbers, and meaningful connections are built on shared values, not just compatible timelines. However, you must acknowledge this reality with maturity. If having children is a non-negotiable goal for you, how do you reconcile it with her current biological circumstances? It's here that philosophy and the clarity it provides can guide you. As Epictetus advised, focus on what lies within your control. In this context, that might mean exploring alternative paths to parenthood. Adoption, for example, is a noble and deeply fulfilling option. It aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of contributing to the greater good while meeting your desire to nurture and guide the next generation. Similarly, surrogacy presents a modern solution, though it may not be practical for everyone due to logistical or financial constraints. The point is not to limit yourself, but to explore creative solutions with a clear and open mind. On the flip side, it's worth reflecting on whether your longing for children stems from personal values or societal pressures. Stoicism teaches us to question our impulses and distinguish between genuine desires and external expectations. Ask yourself, does fatherhood represent an authentic part of your path to eudaimonia, flourishing and living in harmony with your nature? Or is it simply what you think is expected of you? If it's the former, the answer may lie in charting a new course with your partner. If it's the latter, then perhaps the relationship itself, with its unique joys and challenges, is enough to fulfill you. An older partner brings wisdom, stability, and perspective to the table, qualities that often outweigh any perceived drawbacks. The Stoics remind us to appreciate what is present and valuable in the here and now. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Instead of lamenting what may not be possible biologically, focus on the aspects of the relationship that bring depth and purpose to your life. Navigating these complexities requires courage, candor, and a commitment to truth, both with yourself and your partner. By confronting potential challenges early, you foster a relationship built on mutual understanding and respect. Remember, a Stoic doesn't shy away from difficult questions. They embrace them as opportunities to live virtuously and authentically. Ultimately, the choice is deeply personal. Whether or not children factor into your vision for the future, what matters most is your ability to align your actions with your core principles. In doing so, you cultivate not just a successful relationship, but a life of meaning and purpose. And isn't that the essence of Stoicism? Number 5. People might mistake you for her son. Life frequently challenges us with misunderstandings, and the assumptions of others often serve as a proving ground for our resilience. Imagine this scenario. You're walking beside someone older, perhaps a mentor, friend, or partner, and strangers misinterpret your bond. They assume familial ties, calling you her son or nephew. Their mistaken judgment could stir discomfort, both for you and the one you cherish. For her, such moments might provoke self-consciousness, whispering fears that society judges her for daring to connect across years. Yet is this discomfort not a mirror of misplaced priorities? The Stoics teach us that what others think belongs to them, not us. Our task is to focus on our own reasoned choices. If you truly value the relationship, should age, brokenness, or the perception of strangers diminish its worth? Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Here, the reaction becomes key. You can let external noise define your peace, or you can rise above, anchored in the truth of your intentions. The measure of any relationship lies not in appearances, but in mutual respect, kindness, and shared virtue. If these foundations exist, then what others see, or fail to see, becomes irrelevant. Remember, the crowd is fickle, easily swayed by superficial impressions. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." In this case, choose not to be distracted by others' ignorance, and your love, built on wisdom, will thrive. True strength in any connection comes from embracing authenticity. External judgments, no matter how awkward or frequent, can only affect you if you grant them power. The Stoic approach is to align yourself with what is real and meaningful. What others think of your path, your choices, or your relationships is noise, a distraction from what truly matters, your own pursuit of a life rooted in virtue and understanding. Number 6. Social stigma. In the landscape of modern relationships, non-traditional pairings, such as a younger man dating an older woman, still carries some degree of social stigma. While this stigma has diminished in recent decades, it remains present in the minds of many, often forming an unspoken barrier between personal happiness and societal approval. A decade ago, such relationships might have been met with more overt judgment, but today the reactions are subtler. Nonetheless, there will always be those who look at your relationship through a lens of skepticism or even disdain. They may view your connection as out of the ordinary, questioning its legitimacy or durability, simply because it doesn't fit neatly into their conventional understanding of romance. The challenge, however, is not in avoiding these judgments, but in how you respond to them. This is where Stoicism offers profound guidance. The Stoics remind us time and again that external events, whether they are the opinions of others, societal norms, or passing criticisms, are beyond our control. What we can control is our reaction to them. In the case of a relationship that might invite social judgment, the key is to develop a thick skin, to accept that others' views are transient and irrelevant to the true foundation of your bond. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is truly within our power, our thoughts, our actions, and our inner peace. The judgments of others, no matter how frequent or harsh, are not an assault on your relationship unless you allow them to be. What truly matters is the love and respect you share with your partner, the strength of your connection, the depth of your emotional bond, and the ways in which you both grow together. These are the qualities that determine the health and viability of your relationship, not the passing criticisms of outsiders. If your love is genuine, if you treat each other with kindness and understanding, then your relationship is as strong as it needs to be, regardless of what anyone else thinks. It's essential to remember that those who look down on your relationship likely do so out of their own limitations, biases, or insecurities. These judgments are not a reflection of your worth or the worth of your relationship, but of the narrow perspective from which they are viewing the world. Stoicism encourages us to challenge such external influences by focusing inward, by recognizing that our own sense of self is not tied to the fleeting opinions of others. When you internalize this truth, it becomes easier to let go of the emotional weight that comes from others' judgments. That said, it is important to acknowledge that the social scrutiny you face might not only affect you, but your partner as well. While Stoicism teaches us to be indifferent to the opinions of others, it also emphasizes compassion and understanding in our relationships. If your partner feels the weight of societal pressure, it's crucial to be supportive, to reassure her that her value is not defined by what others think. In these moments, Stoic wisdom encourages you to lead with clarity and calm, understanding that your strength will help guide both of you through challenging times. Being prepared for the external pressures of judgment allows you to move forward together with greater resilience. It's not that you ignore the realities of the social climate, but you recognize that those external forces hold no power over your inner peace unless you grant them that power. The true measure of your relationship is not the approval of others, but the mutual respect, trust, and love that form its foundation. When you accept this, when you truly embrace the Stoic perspective of focusing on what is within your control and letting go of what is not, you create a powerful shield against external negativity. No longer will the judgments of others disrupt your peace or undermine your relationship. Instead, you'll walk through life with your partner free from the need for validation, knowing that your connection is authentic, meaningful, and unaffected by the transient opinions of those who are distant from your experience. In the end, Stoicism teaches us that the key to a fulfilling and enduring relationship is rooted in our ability to stay true to our values, to focus on our actions, and to rise above the noise of external judgments. Whether it's a non-traditional relationship or one that fits neatly into societal norms, what truly matters is the love, respect, and understanding that you cultivate together. And if you stay grounded in these principles, the opinions of others will no longer matter, for they are irrelevant in the face of what you have built. Number 7. Your family might object. Your family may object. It's a common scenario, one that even the most serene Stoic might face. Your loved ones disapprove of your relationship. In this case, perhaps your partner is older than expected, maybe even the same age as your mother. It's understandable that such a pairing might create discomfort among those who care for you. But here's the thing, your relationships, the ones you choose, are yours to decide. The Stoic perspective calls for independence from the judgments of others, especially when those judgments are rooted in societal norms or outdated expectations. What matters is your decision, not theirs. Your family, as much as they might love you, does not have the final say in who you share your life with. Yes, some may find your relationship unconventional, perhaps labeling it as strange or even odd at first. But that initial discomfort is not the end of the story. Like all things, it will pass. Stoicism teaches us to recognize what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control the reactions of others, nor should we try. What we can control is our own peace, and in this situation, our ability to remain grounded in the face of external judgment. If you love someone, your decision is valid. Your feelings are yours to navigate. If your family truly loves you, they will, over time, come to accept your choice, even if it isn't immediate. They may need time to adjust to what seems unfamiliar, but eventually their acceptance will follow. Change is never easy, especially when it challenges established norms, but it is always possible. Remember, in the eyes of Stoicism, it's not about what others think. It's about how you respond to their opinions. Will you be shaken by the disapproval, or will you hold steady, trusting in your own judgment and in your path forward? Just as the Stoics found tranquility through self-mastery, so too can you find peace in your relationships, regardless of how others view them. Number 8. Income disparity. Income disparity is a common challenge in relationships, especially when one partner is older and more established than the other. If you're younger, chances are you're still in the process of figuring out your path in life. Many people in their early 20s are not yet settled into a permanent career. Some might still be pursuing their college degrees, while others are working in low-paid jobs to make ends meet. It's a period of exploration and growth where financial stability is often a distant goal. On the other hand, your older partner may have already found her footing in life. She might own a home, have a stable career, and earn significantly more than you. While this may not always be the case, there is often a noticeable gap in earnings. This disparity doesn't have to be detrimental to your relationship, but it can stir feelings of insecurity, especially if you're concerned about living up to her expectations or the difference in financial standing. The key here is to approach the situation with a Stoic mindset. We cannot control the circumstances of our birth, the timing of our career success, or the financial resources we are given. What we can control is how we respond to these realities. In the face of income disparity, we must remind ourselves that worth is not determined by money. A Stoic understands that external wealth or status holds no true value when compared to internal virtue and peace of mind. If you find yourself in a relationship where the income gap feels significant, take a step back and reassess the situation. Do not let money define your sense of self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True wealth comes from contentment, from living according to your values, not in comparing your financial situation to someone else's. The Stoic practice of focusing on what is within your control will keep you grounded, even in the face of challenges like income disparity. By accepting where you are in life, embracing the journey, and trusting in your ability to improve, you will find peace despite the differences in your financial situations. When you shift your focus from comparison to self-improvement, you'll free yourself from the anxiety of measuring up. Keep in mind that wealth, both financial and emotional, is earned through wisdom, resilience, and the strength of character. And as you progress on your path, remember that the journey itself is as valuable as the destination. In relationships, it's crucial to recognize that love and connection are built on more than just material success. Instead of allowing income disparity to create division, use it as an opportunity to grow together. Allow your differences to deepen your understanding of one another, and let those differences complement the partnership. A relationship rooted in Stoic principles, where value is placed on virtue, not possessions, will withstand any challenge, including the complexities of income disparity. Number 9. Sexual differences. In modern times, sexual liberation has allowed for greater freedom in exploring desires, with younger generations often being more open to experimenting with different aspects of intimacy. However, when relationships span across age differences, particularly with older partners, there may be contrasting levels of openness regarding sexual practices. While this isn't always the case, a gap in comfort levels might exist between what one partner is accustomed to and what the other is comfortable with. It is essential to approach this with patience and understanding, particularly with the realization that your partner's preferences and boundaries may differ from yours. Respect for these differences is paramount. In intimate relationships, as in all aspects of life, understanding and compromise are key to creating harmony. If your partner is hesitant to explore certain areas of sexuality, the goal should not be to change their mind, but to find ways to nurture mutual respect and comfort within the relationship. Remember, a fulfilling connection goes beyond sexual acts alone. The essence of intimacy lies in understanding, trust, and emotional alignment. Conversations about these differences should be ongoing, handled with care, and aimed at strengthening the bond rather than forcing conformity. While sexual intimacy is indeed an important element in many relationships, the cornerstone should always be the ability to communicate openly, build trust, and create a space where both partners feel safe and valued, without pressure to conform to external expectations. This approach not only nurtures a healthy dynamic, but ensures that both partners are allowed to grow within the relationship, respecting each other's boundaries and desires. Number 10, expectations. Expectations, especially in relationships, are often influenced by past experiences and individual desires. When dating someone older, this dynamic becomes more pronounced. For instance, if your partner has been through a difficult divorce, the idea of marriage may no longer hold the same allure. She might be more cautious, more focused on stability, and less inclined to revisit a chapter of her life that brought her pain. In this case, the dream of a future together might seem distant or even impossible, especially if you have your heart set on marriage. Conversely, an older partner might be seeking something more serious than you're ready for, potentially seeking a committed relationship when you're simply hoping for a more casual connection. This is where expectations must align. Misaligned desires can lead to frustration, disappointment, and ultimately the breakdown of the relationship. The key is communication. Honest and open conversations about what each person truly wants. By clearly defining the boundaries and goals early on, you can avoid the emotional pitfalls that come from assuming your partner shares your vision. Without this clarity, resentment can easily build, leaving both partners feeling unheard and unfulfilled. It is essential to approach each relationship with the understanding that both people bring their own histories, desires, and fears to the table. Before things get too serious, take the time to discuss your expectations and learn what your partner envisions for the future. This doesn't mean having all the answers immediately, but rather creating a foundation for open dialogue. In doing so, you create space for growth, trust, and mutual understanding. When expectations are in sync, the relationship can thrive, no matter where it leads. In conclusion, relationships with older partners can offer valuable perspectives, but they also come with unique challenges, especially when it comes to managing expectations. For young people who are dating older women or planning to, it's essential to approach these relationships with patience and understanding. Remember that your partner's life experiences may shape her views on commitment, marriage, and even love itself. Clear, honest communication is key. Take the time to align your expectations early on, and don't assume that what you want is automatically what your partner desires. For those already in such relationships, be open to compromise and listen deeply to your partner's needs. Understanding her background, her goals, and her fears can help you navigate potential conflicts with respect and maturity. If you're upfront about your own desires and expectations, you'll create a stronger foundation for growth together. Don't rush the process. Relationships, especially those involving significant age gaps, require time, understanding, and mutual respect to flourish. So, take the time to communicate openly and honestly, and be ready to adapt. In doing so, you'll find a relationship built not on assumptions, but on a shared vision for the future.